L'Shana Tova and a good yor. The Torah portion we are about to read comes from Parshas Kedoshim. In the beginning of that parsha, it starts Kedoshim to you, translated as you shall be holy. Now, 2 years ago, I introduced this portion on Yom Kippur, and at that time, I spoke about how the word Kodesh not only means holiness, but also means set apart or unique. Similar to how when an animal is set aside as an offering, as a korban in the temple, it is referred to as being hektish, from the same root. I also spoke of this chapter as being like a mini guidebook of sorts about how to be holy, with this specific focus on this concept of being set apart or unique. For starters, the Torah talks about recognizing the uniqueness of our own personal creation by honoring our parents. It then talks about us taking an active role in appreciating the uniqueness of creation by keeping and celebrating the Sabbath. And then finally, with the largest section of this portion, it's devoted to recognizing the uniqueness of each person, their individual uniqueness, their individual holiness, through keeping of the multitude of interpersonal laws that are presented there, dealing with honesty and with giving to others. Ultimately culminating in the final statement of Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha ani Hashem, love your fellow as yourself. Today, I want to speak briefly about another aspect of Kodesh, of holiness. That is of intent, or to be more specific, of having proper intent. In verses 5 through 8, the shlomim, or peace offering, is described. Now, interestingly, the laws spoken about there were already mentioned in an earlier chapter, in chapter 7. And Rashi and Sforno pick up on this, and they comment that these verses are not coming to teach the same laws again, but they're coming to teach us a new lesson. The lesson of intent. These verses are coming to teach us that if the Kohen has the wrong intent for the timing and the location of when the korban is to be consumed, then that korban, that offering, is now invalid or puzzle. Well, this teaches us an essential principle that having proper intent is an essential part of having kedusha, of being holy. Hold that thought for a moment, and let's take a look now again at the last statement in this parsha, Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, ani Hashem, loving your fellow as yourself, I am Hashem. This last statement points out the Torah's insight, recognition that we as people are self-centered, that at our core, we love ourselves. This is actually important, and it's actually protective, because if we didn't love ourselves, then we wouldn't care about self-preservation. We wouldn't care about avoiding harm. We wouldn't care about procreation. But loving ourselves also has to have a purpose. It also needs to have a proper intent. This, in combination with what we talked about regarding intent, teaches us something very valuable and a very practical lesson as we go into the waning hours of Yom Kippur. This teaches us that we should have the intent of others being holy and unique as we are, and that they are worthy of the unique love that we have for ourselves. That comes with it a specific type of favor, a specific type of judgment. For example, if I do something wrong, I usually give myself the benefit of the doubt, or I just rationalize it away and then it becomes less bothersome to me and less embarrassing or what have you. But when I see someone else make a similar mistake, or maybe do even the exact same thing wrong, do I look at them in the same way? Do I let them rationalize it away, or do I rationalize it away for them? Do I give them the benefit of the doubt? If I do, I am living ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. I am loving them as I love myself. So with that in mind, I have a question for you. What is your intent going to be this Yom Kippur, this year? Are we just going to get through davening as quick as we can, break the fast, feel better now that we've eaten, and go on as usual, unchanged and unmoved? Or will we internalize this lesson and use the capacity we have as people, created in Hashem's image, to focus our intent on loving others, on helping others, and on judging others favorably? Will you live this year truly loving your fellow as yourself? Gamar Chasima Tova and L'Shana Tova.